Episode 4. Episode 4.
Welcome back to Loveable Losers.
We're here.
4.
We got 5 more stories. Again, completely written by AI.
Mm-hmm.
No changes, no edits. We just read what's written.
Yeah.
We pick who's going to be who right before we read it. That is something I've noticed, though. That it likes to reuse names a lot.
Yeah. We've had a character named Leo, I think, 4 times now.
Yeah.
And Mark a few times.
And so we might go back later and create storylines that these are all the same Leo. Just like this is all about him.
A little AI canon.
Ooh, some lore. AI lore.
In a world where hippos run roughshod through the streets of London, Hippos in London 2. The last thing anyone would expect. Again, Hippos in London 2. This is sure to be a hit. Opotamus raves Robert Eager. Hippos, this time in London. Hippos in London 2 rated X for extremely graphic hippopotamus mauling. Hippos in London 2, in theaters this summer. Watch it or be damned.
Interior coffee shop, day. Mark and Chris sit at a small round table. Mark gestures animatedly mid-story.
So I'm standing there, right? A whole tray of lattes in my hand, and this lady just...
Chris interrupting.
Oh, I know what you mean. The other day, I was at the grocery store, and this guy, he just...
Mark, eyes wide.
No, wait. You have to hear this part. She's not even looking where she's going. She's just glued to her phone, and she just...
Chris, waving his hand.
That's exactly it. The guy at the store. He's just staring at his shopping list, right? He's got this crumpled up piece of paper, and he's just like...
Chris, please, let me finish. She walks right into me. Not a little bump. I mean, full-on body slam kind of collision. And all the lattes...
Chris, leaning forward conspiratorially.
All of the eggs I bought. They just went flying. 12 eggs just splattered all over the floor. And he looks at me.
Mark, throwing his hands up.
He didn't say anything. This is the best part. She looks at me, looks at the pile of shattered lattes and the spilled foam, and she says, whoops. That's it. Whoops.
Chris, taking a sip of his coffee.
That's rude.
Right? And what did your guy say?
He just looked at me, looked at the eggs, and goes, I think you have 12 reasons to be upset.
Well, that's actually pretty good.
I know.
The two men sit in silence and ponder their own stories with internalized amusement.
Interior, a gentleman's club, New York, night. The year is 1895. The air is thick with the scent of aged whiskey and fine cigars. Dark mahogany walls are lined with rows of leather-bound books. 2 men, Theodore and Arthur, are settled into deep plush armchairs, a decanter of whiskey, and a few empty glasses on a small table between them. Theodore, taking a thoughtful sip of whiskey.
I tell you, Arthur, the 20th century will be a marvel. The very principle of human ingenuity. The age of the machine.
Arthur's expression is one of mournful skepticism.
The marvel of what now? The marvel of our own undoing, more like it. I see a different future, Theodore. I see the sea.
The sea? We'll have airships, man. We'll cross the ocean in a day, soaring over the waves like great iron beds. We'll have automatrons, mechanical men doing our bidding. Think of it. A metal butler to bring you your morning paper. A clockwork horse that never tires. We'll build moving sidewalks on 5th Avenue so we may never have to walk again.
Arthur shaking his head slowly, his gaze fixed on the bottom of his glass.
No. The sea will rise. The world, this entire city, will sink beneath the waves, the weight of our own steel and our pride. It will be too much. It will pull us down. I feel it in my bones, a slow, inevitable tilt toward the deep.
Sink. My dear fellow, that's preposterous. We'll build higher, taller towers than ever before. We'll touch the clouds, and put our names in the very stars.
And as we sink, we will have to adapt. We will have to change. Our very bodies will change. Our lungs will fail us in the black depths. We'll need gills.
Gills, you say? And for what purpose? A new way to breathe while you drown in your own fanciful notions?
Arthur, ignoring him, lost in his vision.
We will become one with the ocean. We will mate with the fish, the beautiful, silvery creatures of the deep. Our children will be a new race, a hybrid of man and piscine grace. They will swim through these very streets, past the ruins of the Empire State Building, and they will know a peace we can only dream of.
The Empire State Building hasn't been built yet, Arthur.
Exactly! We are already too late.
This is all well and good, a fine diversion, but I think the future will be far more practical. Forget metal men and fish people. I say the world will be wired. A great web of electricity, telephones in every home, so a man in Chicago can speak to a man in London without even leaving his chair. We'll have carriages that run not on horses, but on gasoline. They'll fill the streets in such numbers as to make walking a fool's errand.
Ha! Telephones in every home. What would we all have to say to each other that's so important? And horseless carriages? An impractical novelty, I assure you. The sound alone would be a public nuisance. A servant can serve you tea and carry on a conversation. What does a telephone do?
Arthur's eyes narrow, a touch of pity in his voice.
Your world is small, Mr. Harrison. You see a future of wires and noise, of 1,000 little things to occupy our minds. But what about the soul? What about the great, silent depths? My people, the children of man and fish, will understand the cosmic silence of the abyss. They will see the stars not in the sky, but in the bioluminescent glow of the creatures around them.
Theodore takes the decanter and pours himself a finger of whiskey.
I see a future where every man will have a light bulb in his study, so he may read into the night without fire or fumes. I see a future where we send messages through the air itself, without a single wire. No gills, no clockwork automatons, just a world made simpler, and perhaps a bit more convenient. That is the true future. You're mad.
You're mad! You can't see the water rising!
To the 20th century, may it be an age of practicality and progress, not a watery grave full of half-wit fishermen and tea-served tin soldiers.
He drinks his whiskey in a single gulp, leaving the two men to stare into their own visions of a world they will never see.
Interior, slaughterhouse, day. A long grey corridor, dimly lit by a single bare bulb. The air is thick and smells of metal and straw. Anna and Bessie, two cows, stand in a line that stretches into the darkness. They are large, placid dairy cows, not beef cattle.
Move up, Bess. We don't want to get yelled at.
Bessie shifts her weight from one hoof to the other.
I don't understand. This is a very long line. Are we waiting for the new milking machine? I've heard they're very fast.
Bessie, we've talked about this. This isn't for milking, it's the next thing.
But we're dairy cows. We give milk. It's our purpose. I gave 10 gallons just yesterday. It was a very good day.
They're going to make us into something else.
Like cheese? I love cheese. I hear it's just very solid milk. I bet I'd make excellent cheddar.
Anna shakes her head.
No, not cheese. It's something different. Remember the old bull T-Bone? He went through this line last week. The farmer said he was going to be a very fine cut of meat.
Oh, but We aren't beef cattle. We're Anna and Bess. We have names. We are known.
Move up. It's our turn soon.
A man in a white apron and a large meat hook walks past them without looking, whistling a tuneless melody. Anna shudders. Bessie, her voice is small, full of genuine sadness.
I'll miss the pasture. The dandelions in the spring. Remember how Farmer McGregor's dog, Barnaby, would always chase us? But he never really meant it.
Anna, single tear rolls down her cheek.
Yes, I remember.
They shuffle forward, the line moving one final time. Bessie looks at Anna, her eyes wide and trusting.
Do you think they'll at least keep us together?
Anna doesn't answer. She just nudges her one last time, and they walk out of the frame.
Howdy, partner. How's about time we take a little break? Woo-wee, doggy. Loveable Losers is brought to you by Sonia Blade's Blade Emporium in North-South Sioux City, Iowa.
Get over here!
To Sonia's for a wonderful selection of knives, swords, and many other specialized cutting devices. Say,
Finish him!
to high prices at Sonia's Blade Emporium. Buy a blade from Sonia, and we promise you won't say, whoopsie, back to the losers.
Interior, Wizard's Workshop, Day. The workshop is a delightful chaos of bubbling potions, dusty tomes, and strange ingredients. Wizard Eldred, 70-something, long white beard, slightly frazzled, stands opposite his apprentice, Finn, 20-something, eager but clumsy. A smoking cauldron sits between them.
Now, Finn, the transmutation of teacups to toadstool. A foundational spell. Focus your intent. Visualize the fungal form. And the incantation?
Right. Funga, teacuppus change-o?
Nothing happens. The teacup remains stubbornly ceramic.
No, Finn. The ancient words, you must respect their power. It is Teacuppus Fungietor, with a firm flick of the wrist like so.
Eldred flicks his wrist and pronounces the incantation with booming authority. The teacup wobbles, then sprouts a small, warty toadstool.
Wow, that's much more effective. My wrist flick is probably off. Can I try again?
Very well, Finn. But this time, try to remember the actual words and perhaps focus less on the wrist and more on the magical essence.
Finn nods determinedly. He points his slightly crooked wand at the toadstool.
Okay. Toadstoolus, creature switch.
The toadstool glows faintly, then with a pop transforms into a small, indignant-looking squirrel.
A squirrel? Finn! That's not even remotely close. You seem to be inventing a branch of transmutational magic. It's your,
Well, it changed, didn't it? Maybe my intent was furry.
Intent? Magic is not about vague yearnings for fur. It requires precision, control. Observe. I shall revert your squirrel back to a toadstool, and then we shall try the teacup again. Squirrelius fungo returno!
Eldred casts the spell, his wand wavering slightly. The squirrel shimmers and transforms into a rather large, croaking frog.
Master Eldred? I think we went a bit amphibian.
Amphibian? But, the incantation was correct, unless my focus was disrupted by your squirrel to frog deviation.
Suddenly, Finn sneezes. His wand, still clutched in his hand, twitches, emitting a wild burst of green energy that strikes Eldred.
Blast and bother! What in the blazes was that, Finn?
Eldred begins to shrink, his robes billowing around him. His beard recedes, his features sharpen, and he sprouts a long, twitching tail. He looks down at his paws in utter disbelief. He is now a very fluffy, rather bewildered-looking cat.
Whoops! Sorry, Master Eldred. I think that was a accidental animus spell? I read about it in that forbidden book.
Before Finn can elaborate, the frog on the table hops, its long tongue lashing out and accidentally knocking Finn's wand out of his hand. The wand clatters onto a pile of glowing moss, triggering another burst of chaotic magic that envelops Finn. He grows feathers, his arms morph into wings, and a sharp beak protrudes from his face. He squawks in surprise, flapping his newly formed wings awkwardly. He is now a rather scruffy-looking crow. The cat, formerly Eldred, stares up at the crow, formerly Finn. The crow hops clumsily onto a precarious stack of spell components, scattering them across the room. The cat meows plaintively.
Meow.
The crow caws in confusion. The workshop is silent except for the drips and bubbles of unattended potions, and the occasional distressed animal noise.
Interior bank day. A quiet bank. No one is around. Two robbers, Leo and Vince, wearing ski masks, stand awkwardly in the middle of the lobby. The air is tense.
All right. I think we're good. No one's here.
I told you we should have brought a lookout. What if they have one of those silent alarms?
Vince, we talked about this. A lookout is for big jobs. This is a small job. Now let's go.
They walk over to the teller's counter. Leo bangs his fist on the counter.
All right. Hand over all the cash.
The bank is empty. There's no one to hand over the cash.
Leo, there's no one in here. It's Saturday.
What?
It's Saturday. The bank is closed on Saturday.
Leo pulls off his mask, his face flushed with embarrassment.
You're telling me we came all this way. You put on the ski mask, the gloves, and everything, and it's a Saturday.
I thought the quiet was a little suspicious.
Leo looks around the empty bank, then back at Vince.
You didn't think to mention this before we broke in?
I thought it was part of the plan. You're the one who said, no lookout, it'll be fine.
Leo groans, a deep, guttural sound of defeat. He gestures to the lobby with a defeated hand.
Let's go. I'm gonna get a donut.
Sounds good. I'll get a coffee.
They walk out of the bank and get into their car.
That one had a happy ending. I like donuts.
Yeah, and they got away scot-free because there wasn't anything to rob.
Yeah, I guess there wasn't a robbery. It was the anti-robbery.
Oh, nice. All right, so that's 5 more AI stories for you to take right to your dome.
Yeah,
Pretty
I mean,
good.
at least another 20 minutes wasted on us.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So the teens of you.
Yeah, I found out who the mystery third person is. It's a shout out to my sister.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she was listening, so let's see if she's still listening.
The third man. All
Yeah.
right. Well, welcome.
She was talking about it, and I just looked, I go, you're the third listener? She goes, what does that mean? I go, you wouldn't get it. And then I flicked my cigarette. True story.
And then Sparta kicked her into a hole that appeared behind her somehow. The very principle of human Damn it.